Welcome to Degrees of Separation, a podcast where we journey to learn how we are connected and who we are connected to.
It gives us at least a glimpse of how connected we all are.
From entrepreneurs and small business owners to difference makers and thought leaders throughout our communities. This is Degrees of Separation with Joshua Peacock and Daryl DJ Sales.
Hey, yo, what it is, what it do, man? We back off up in this thing one more time, man. It's been a minute, man. It's been a minute. It's been over a month, man. But things have been, real busy on these ends, man. Been working 60 to 70 hours a week, man. Just been tired, man. That's no excuse, but that's the reason. Shout out to my co-host Daryl DJ Sales, man. He been busy as well, man. Just been on the road. You know what I'm saying? Grinding. We speak about it often, about how a full-time job can be a vision killer. It kills motivation, kills creativity, but we still gotta keep pressing on, man. We ain't went nowhere. We back, you know what I'm saying? Like we never left, man. But that's the reason why, we may not have been hitting. You may not have been getting any content from Degree Separation. We ain't went nowhere, man. Just been a little busy. We're gonna try to do a little bit better on, being continuous with the content, and also, just posting to the our social media platforms of, when we're going to be available, and so on and so forth. If there's going to be any hiatus, then we make sure that we get back to the people and keep them informed. Again, we appreciate everybody for their support, for the continued support. But with that said, man, let's get into it, man. This is Degree Separation, man, where we come to learn how we're connected and who we're connected to. But man, sadly, man, with deep um, regret, man. It's been about a month now. But degrees of separation alum, uh, Terrell Tug Morand passed away. They were, if you're new, or if you haven't been rocking with us since the beginning of the podcast, they were our second ever guest. Get Your Shine On is the title of that um, of that episode. Two brothers who I had the pleasure of growing up with, going to school with, playing in the dirt with. Terrell and Fred Moran, the elder brother, Tug, as everybody called him, um, passed away. And as we just want to continue to send our condolences and prayers out to the family. It's been about a month now, but time, they say time heals all wounds, but uh, I don't think that's so. That's something that you have to adjust and deal with for the rest of your life, man. And again, shout out to Fred, man. You know what I mean? We here at Degree Separation, we are still here, man. Praying for you, man, and keeping you uplifted, you and the family, man. And this is gonna tie into the episode as well. Um, I remember the day that Kobe Bean Bryant passed away. It was on a Sunday. It was January 26, 2020. So it's been a little over 3 years now since Kobe Bryant passed away. And the reason why I remember it was a Sunday is because that very Sunday, uh, the apostle at the church that I was uh, a member of at the time was preaching a message about death being in the land. And uh, a lot of times, what will happen when a man or woman of God is preaching the word, God gives confirmation to His word. And there was I'll always remember this topic. I always remember the title of the sermon, and it was talking about death in the land. And the man of God was expounding about how death was coming into the land of America and to the world, and it was going to be rampant. And if everybody could remember, you know what I mean, for the past 3 years, that the COVID, it was a big, big proponent of death. And ever since that day of January 26, 2020, death has been in the land. Death has been prominent. People, it's a it's a saying that says people die that ain't never died before. People are dying that has never died before, and that's true. It'll continue to be true, and it's always going to be true. But it seems like death has been overwhelming. You know, that's all we hear about is death now. Death, 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 death. Death in the land, and um, it was such a big shocker. You know, of Kobe Bryant passing was, I never at the church I was going to, I would have to leave a little or leave service early sometimes to be able to make it to work on Sunday evening. And as I was heading out the door, and the man of God was preaching, I held up my hand and I said, you know, I don't mean to cut you off, but Kobe just passed, and I didn't raise my hand to disrupt the service or to just say Kobe Bryant passed, but I was bringing confirmation to the sermon, to the topic of a person, this icon of a basketball player, a person that has touched lives, countless lives, all around the world, has just passed on, has just died. And it caused a big, great shock. Just look back and think about where were you and what were you doing when Kobe Bryant passed? I can remember when 9/11 happened. I was a sophomore in high school in algebra class, and my math teacher, um, Mr. Jones, Mr. Jones was my math teacher at the time. He was also the weightlifting teacher, weightlifting coach, and I remember them wheeling in the TV into algebra and showing us the World Trade Center being, attacked and falling and so on and so forth. Um, that's when things like that happen in your life, when these moments happen in our lifetime, we the trauma or the shock or the importance of the moment, we it's like a freeze frame in our mind. I'm not old enough to remember the JFK assassination or Malcolm X or Martin Luther King. I ain't that old, but you know, um, I can remember Y2K. I can remember 9/11. As a matter of fact, I have flown on an airplane before 9/11 and maybe 3 months after, 2 or 3 months after 9/11, and I saw the drastic difference in the airport. But nevertheless, this shock of Kobe Bryant passing and me announcing it to the church was a wake up call, was a confirmation of the word that God was releasing through the man of God. And death has been in the land. Death has been in the land. We are losing. We have lost people to COVID, to cancer, to suicide, to gun violence, to so many things, man. And we take for granted our we take for granted our life. We take for granted that we're gonna wake up the next day. We take for granted that when we leave the house that we're gonna come back inside the house. We take for granted that when we go to work that we're gonna come home from work. We take for granted these things because it becomes so routine. It becomes so a part of our lives that it's 365 days in a year. You know what I mean? If you live 10 years, that's over 36 3,600 days. You know what I mean? So and times that by 20, by 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, we live thousands and thousands and thousands of times living, waking up, and we take for granted these things. And, you know, it doesn't hit you until it happens to you. My aunt, you know, late last year, a little bit after Thanksgiving, one of my mom's older sisters, my mom being the baby, everybody's older than her, but one of my mom's older sisters passed away and from cancer. And you know, last time I seen her was at Thanksgiving, and a few weeks later she was gone. A lady who was very integral and helped me out in my adult life, giving me a place to stay when I was transitioning in my life. When I was transitioning to a different job, transitioning from a different relationship, when I had nothing to my name and I was going to try to make something else of myself. She gave me a place to stay, no cost. I thank God I had the opportunity to talk to her and express my appreciation for what her and her husband, my uncle, did. But tomorrow's not promised to us. Tomorrow's not promised to us. I thank God that we have a archive of the interview of Terrell. You know, so that Fred or anybody else or anybody in his family, any of the friends, can go back and listen to his voice, can go back and listen to his ideas, can go back and understand a part of his life and how he got to where he eventually got business wise and life wise. You know, I bet Fred would give anything to have his older brother back. You know what I mean? Um, but we have to understand tomorrow is not promised to us. It's not promised to us. And I tell my wife all the time, um, one of us is going to leave here before the other. We're not promised forever together. There's a certain finite amount of time that we're going to have with one another. And I expressed to her that there's no need for us to fight. There's no need for us to argue. I want to enjoy every moment that we have together because time is of an essence and time is very precious. We may have 60 more years together, you know? And then, it's already been 8, 9 years that we've been together, but who's to say tomorrow, tomorrow's not promised. And so I would want that. Is every moment that we have splendid and wonderful without any disagreement? No, no. But my desire is to have that intimate time with my wife, have that time where we're getting along, where we're enjoying one another, where we can laugh with one another, where we can love on one another. Man, we have to love each other while we still yet have a chance. We have to be together as much as possible. Now, and that's with everybody. That's with your children, with your parents, with your friends, with your spouse. You know, we get so caught up in chasing the bag. Chasing, I gotta chase the bag, I gotta chase the bag. But we're wasting valuable time chasing the bag or doing frivolous things to where you're not even loving on the people that's right next to you. That we get so caught up in running the business. And don't get me wrong, all these things have their proper time. In the Bible it talks about there's a season for everything. Seed time, harvest time, so on and so forth. Time to laugh, time to cry, so on and so forth. But there should be balance in our lives. And balance isn't everything getting the same amount of time. Balance is giving the proper time to the proper things. That's what balance is. Of course, we shouldn't give our job more time than we give our loved ones. We shouldn't give our wife more time than we give God. But our lives are out of balance. But we have to understand that we have to love one another while we still yet have a chance, man. You know, I like to be transparent on here. I have children. I have 5 children. I talk about them all the time. Very private with my children. Very private with my life to a degree. Um, I come home tired. Working 60, 70 hours in a week. That's 12 hours a day. 5 days a week, 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. You come home and then you have your wife, you have your children, and sometimes, if anybody has children and you take care of your children while you're tired, it's frustrating, man. It's frustrating being tired and having young, energetic children that just want to see you and play with you, but you're tired. You want to go to sleep, and they're jumping up and down on you. And sometimes I get a little short with my children, and it bothers me. It bothers me because they didn't do anything. They just want to play with their daddy. They ain't seen daddy all day. Sometimes, all they do is see daddy when he wake up and he go to work, and then sometimes when he coming home. You know what I mean? But besides that, sometimes I'm sleeping all day because I got to get up and do it again. But man, it burdens me. It bothers me. It irks me that I'm short with my children sometimes, and I might yell at them for doing something that only no that's what a child does because of my frustration, because of my tired, my fatigue. You know what I mean? And I'm trying to do better with that because daddy ain't gonna be here always. You know what I'm saying? At some point, what I mean, I'm gonna have to go on to the other side. But it's gonna be the times that I spent with my children that they're gonna remember. It's those memories that keep us, that we have. That's all we have in this world, really, is memories. All we have is memories. You know what I mean? Once that person is gone, you may not be able to ever hear their voice again. Some people, um, when a loved one dies, they'll call their cell phone and just listen to their voicemail, just to hear their voice again. You know what I mean? All you have is pictures or videos, but you'll never see that person in person again. You'll never be able to touch them again. So all you have is your memories. So we have to love one another while we have a chance, man, because death has been in the land. And it's like I was saying before, hundreds of thousands, millions, according to the numbers, have died because of COVID alone. And now they're coming out with more and more discoveries about, just different things. You know what I mean? People succumb to death all of the time. It's the Bible speaks about, every man there is fitted for a man to die. Every man to die. Every man has to go see the maker, meet the maker. Every man has to go that route. You know what I mean? And it's inevitable. And it's crazy that we get these inevitable, we know something that is going to happen, but we still don't take advantage of the time that is afforded to us. We get so caught up in systems and societies and ways of life that is really don't mean a hill of beans at the end of the day. I want to love my wife, man. Only time I have a problem with her is when she get a problem with me about something I didn't do or didn't, something that I missed along the way of being a husband. I don't get it all right. It's a lot I get wrong. You know what I mean? But um, I really don't have a problem with my wife, man. I'm laid back, chilled. Uh, you know, easygoing type of guy, not too demanding. She might say I'm demanding, but I'm not demanding, man. I just want to be loved. It's that song. It feels good loving somebody when somebody loves you back. You know what I mean? Uh, that's a fact. But uh, love, love the people while you can. Um, but does that mean allow toxic people in your life? You know what I mean? That just bring you down. You don't have to have anybody in your life that is not benefiting to you. You know what I mean? But you be sure that you can deal with it. You know what I mean? Because you know they are somebody that you want to have a relationship with. But if you know what I mean, you can still love them from a distance. You know what I mean? You can still call them here and there. They don't have to be a integral part of your life, but you can still show your love to them, man. You know what I mean? If somebody's abusive to you, if somebody's doing you wrong, or somebody is taking advantage of you, by all means, escort them out of your life. Because again, we still only have a certain amount of time. And why deal with toxicity when you don't have to? Why deal with a toxic person when you don't have to? It's unnecessary. Why deal with be at a job where there's no benefits to you besides money? You know what I mean? Sometimes I think about leaving my job. I get paid pretty well. I get paid pretty well. You know what I mean? Not bragging or boasting anything. Thank God for the finances to provide for my children. But sometimes I think about leaving my job. Sometimes I feel like just saying, all right, I'm out of here. I've been at my current job 8 years. You know what I mean? Good money, provides for my family. Um, thank God for it. But sometimes it gets in the way of time with my family. Time with my family, time with my wife, time with my businesses that I'm um, running. And, it provides a lot. But sometimes I feel like just saying, man, they can have it. But I have responsibilities. The bills still got to get paid. The mortgage still got to get paid. Lights still got to get paid. You know what I mean? Food still has to, anybody ever try to feed 5 children? You know what I mean? That's expensive, especially with the especially with the grocery prices nowadays, man. My wife tell me that, our grocery bill is $1,000 a month. And I'm like, man, hold up. Whoa, hold up, swole up. You know what I mean? But sometimes I feel like um, reclaiming my time. You know what I mean? I feel like reclaiming my time because I truly don't believe that that human beings were meant to um, work 9 to 5, 10, 12, 11, 13 hours a day away from their family. Now, if you're doing that for something that you own, that's something completely understandable, and it's understandable to go to work for somebody else. But I just don't. The way our society is made up, it's not um, it's not conducive for family and time and spending those uh, that intimate time with your family and doing things that you want to do. Um, but it's necessary for the society that we live in. Unless you go off the grid and you live off the land, and so many people are not doing that nowadays because we've become acclimated to the society that they have given us. But again, just take time out, um, mend the broken relationships that you may have that you want to continue. Uh, if you've done something wrong to somebody, don't what is it to say sorry? What is it to say, I apologize? What is it to say, hey, is there anything that I have done to offend you? And if there's something I have done to offend you, please let me know so that I can make it right with you so that our relationship can continue to grow. Because I tell you this, man, once that person gone, you're going to wish you was able to love on them. You're going to wish you was able to tell them, I love you just one more time. You're going to wish you're going to be able to sit down and have a meal with them, to eat with them, to fellowship with them. you would probably give your left arm to just to have them back. Again, you know, so do what you have to do because death is still in the land. You know what I mean? Um, we're called to love one another. We called to love one another. And so I just want to inspire our listeners and everybody around the world to love while you still have a chance. Love your children, love your family, your spouse. Excuse me. Trying to hold that one in. Ah. But love, man. Love one another. Love while you have a chance. And that's what it is. You can find us at Degreez Separation on everything. DEGREEZ, Degreez Separation on Instagram, Degreez Separation on Facebook, Degreez Separation on all streaming platforms. Hey, hit up our YouTube, man. Subscribe to the YouTube, man. We got more content coming to you. I promise you we will not have a hiatus like this again, man. Come hell or high water, man. 60, 70 hours. Hey, we're gonna drop some stuff for you. We still got some more stuff coming. We got some stuff lined up, man. But hey, sometimes you need a break, man. Sometimes you need a little breakaway. You know what I mean? We're about to hit 3 years, man, come June. We've been well over 100 episodes now, man. We was just giving y'all a little chance to go back and hit up some of them old videos, old audio, old episodes. That's all we was doing. We just give you a chance to catch up because we know we got some new followers on there, man. Gave you time to go back into the catalog and get it all good, man. Again, shout out to DJ, man. We got some more guests coming to you. We got some more fire interviews, man. We got some more fire businesses coming. Uh, just continue to support us if you will. We appreciate the support again. Shout out to Tug, man, and the Morand family. Fred, get your shine on. Y'all go check that episode out, man. Our second guest, man, and we appreciate them for helping us kick this thing off, man. Um, I'll forever be grateful for the time they spent with us. And those are childhood friends, man. I'm talking about playing in the dirt together. And again, love while love is still yet available. Um, we may be 1 or 2 degrees separated from each other, but when it comes to God, there should be 0 degrees of separation, and we out.
Degrees of separation, connecting you to the sun.